So all I'm going to do now is just mark out the 9mm plywood, cut it to shape to each of the panels and fit it. Quite simple. I'm just going to use the circular saw, which I've done, as you can see. Place up against where the panel goes and fit every single one. So I've cut the panel to shape. I've already offered it up to the section where I want to fit it, and it's a good fit, but I've got a little bit of a gap just around the edges, simply because when the sealant wraps around it, it's weather resistant sealant, all weather, and I'm hoping that will help to seal the edge of the plywood. If you don't use silicone, the very least you need to do is treat your plywood, otherwise that will rust, water will get inside it. And just to show the type of stuff I've actually used, there you are. Just an all-weather sealant for window frames, etc. Bear in mind that's the internal seal. And when I put the quadrant on the outside of the panel, there'll be some more silicone there, so there's zero chance of any water getting through whatsoever. So what I'm going to do now is offer it up, put it into place and screw it down, and what we hope to see is some of that silicone sealant wrapping round and extruding just out the side of the panel. That tells me that it's pretty well sealed. I've got that all the way around, a continuous band. As you can see, I haven't spared it. I've just put it right on. I want it squeezed through to form a very, very good seal around that plywood panel. And like I say, it will also help to protect the edge of the plywood. So let's put the panel up. So that should start to squeeze through as I push it into place. There we go. You can see it coming through. There'll be another bead of silicone when I put the quadrant round there just to hold that panel in. But what I'm going to do now anyway is screw it down, and then we'll look just to see, there we are, starting to squeeze through, how that silicone helps to seal. So let's have a look at that sealant now the panel's been screwed on, and as you can see it's seeping all the way through there, which is good. And like I say, when I put the final quadrant just down here, just to hide the nails, I'll put another layer of silicone down there anyway, just to ensure that no water can get through. Bear in mind, before I put the quadrant down, I'll be painting the plywood anyway with some wood treatment just to protect the panel regardless. So I'm going to do that now with every panel, with the exception of this centre section here and the centre one over there, because that's where the windows will be going. Well, Man has been very brave, and she's starting to feed the fish, and she's not scared anymore. Unfortunately, there's only one fish who's brave enough to go to Marin, and here he is. Show her. He's now, he turned into Sankey, and now he's almost a Kahaku. He's losing his colours. He's greedy shower again. There, look. So I think all the other fish need some fish, some food, some shrimps. Gammas, I think they are. And just as on the outside, you see a good bead of silicone to squeeze through past the plywood to create an all-round seal. So when I put the insulation in, no dampness or water should get through to it. Next is the internal panels. So working on the same basis as the external, I'll be measuring up, but rather than separating the lower and the upper panels, I'm going to have one full panel all the way down every section, with the exception of where the window goes there. There'll just be one lower half panel. On the back section here is going to be a full window. I've had a change of heart, it's not going to be round. It's going to be a full length window all the way down. Well, not full length, to be honest. It's going to be separated by that separator just there where the wire runs. So I'll have a lower window and an upper window to get the picture effect of that tree. What I'm going to do here on this panel, I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to fit a window at the top, the larger section there, and the lower, smaller section I'll be putting a separate window, so it looks like one full length window. It'll be separated by that truss that goes across the lower half where the wire runs through. But I want to keep that tree to keep the feature in. Obviously that mess behind it where the old fence is, that will go. So it should look quite nice as you open the front door, sliding door to the tea house. This section of plywood, I should be able to get two sections out of it. So I've marked up the first section. I'll cut that to shape and then cut the other side to shape, so I should be able to get two panels out of that. One thing I did forget to mention is before I put the panels into place, the internal panels, I've got some breathable membrane to put on. Moisture allows moisture to get out, but it prevents water getting in, and that goes on the inside panel. And I shall also insulate the wall with this rock wool. It's mainly for sound, because my young daughter, I've no doubt, will be playing music, and just to keep the noise levels down a bit, I've decided to put some noise insulation, but it also makes quite a good insulation, temperature insulation in its own right. Bear in mind the Japanese tea house will probably only be used in the summer anyway, so heat and temperature is not the biggest concern, just the noise levels while I'm putting in the rock wool. So first thing, I'm going to unpack this rock wool and cut some sections out. You basically cut it either with a wood saw or scissors. Can be quite itchy, so I'm going to be putting on a dust mask. So now I've fitted the rock wool insulation, what I'm going to do is start to fit the breathable membrane on the internal panel. Now Superfoil, that's a manufacturer of this particular membrane, has stated that the silver grey side of the foil should face the outside of the project. So the white side here is facing internally, and hope I can pick it up. That silver side will face the outside. So this is just an additional moisture control system. It also helps to insulate as well. So this particular tea house will be fully insulated with the exception of the roof. So what I'm going to do now is simply staple this particular sheet into place. So let's put the internal panel in. There we go. It's a nice snug fit, but it's important to note that I've still left a couple of mil all the way round just for expansion. I'm not going to screw these down, I'm just going to use little tacks. So another panel is going to go in now, but just to reiterate with this superfoil, the breathable membrane, the manufacturer does state that the silver grey side should face the outside of the project, and that's exactly what it's got to do. So the whiter side will be on the inside, so I'll fit the panel there and then just trim the excess superfoil off around the panel. So more rock wool into this panel, and all I need to do is fit the superfoil, and it's just a repeat of what I've done previously on the internal panels. That's it. Pardon me. Run out of staples. This is a press stapler. Standard stapling gun, to be honest. All you do is just press this little access port out. There we go. And reload. There you are. 12mm heavy duty staples. The panel's up. I've nailed it down. So all I've got to do now is just trim the breathable membrane away. So the internal cladding is all but done now, as you can see. with the door. And the only places I haven't cladded just yet, I'm going to have a window there. Because of the construction of the window, I can't fit the board just yet. And similarly, there's going to be a window there, so no cladding. So that's the internals at least. And what I've also done is give the outside a lick of paint, cottage cream. Needs a couple more coats, and as soon as I've done that, I'll put the beading on, and then I'll give the final mahogany paint on the outside of the frame itself. The last thing I'm going to do will be the roof felt and the slating. That's it. So the next part will be the slating, putting the roof felt on, then the slating, and then the final part will be putting the beading on, and the very end of it will be putting the sliding door on. Till next time, have a good one.